To enter a concentration release in the online advising file, first we click Contents on the top of the page. Next, we select Concentration Releases on the left-hand margin. Here you'll see a reverse chronological list of all the concentration or minor releases for the student in question. To add a new one, we click Add. You'll notice that when this form pops up, the date, timestamp, advising office, and your name are all automatically filled in. The first thing that we have to do is select a graduation term and year, winter 2011. Next, we'll select the radio button corresponding to the concentration that you wish to, or minor, that you wish to submit a release for. We'll select poli-sci. If the student hasn't yet declared your concentration, you can fill in some free-form boxes using Other Plan. First, we indicate whether it's an honors concentration. If it is, it will go to the honors office. If it isn't, it will go to the auditors office. So now we get into the meat of the release. The first question now has to do with the student's GPA. If we indicate that the student is going to have a 2.0 GPA or above, it means that the student isn't going to have any minimum grades in order to keep the GPA above that minimum limit required by LS&A. If the student is in danger of having less than a 2.0, then you need to indicate minimum grades down later when we're pointing out courses that the student still needs. We'll say she will. Next, we have the concentration requirements question. The first option says that the student has met all concentration requirements without any in-progress or future courses or credit. Even if that's the case, remember to go down and enter the cognates down in the previously completed courses section. Alternatively, if the student still has courses or requirements to fulfill, click will have satisfied all concentration requirements upon successful completion of the courses below. So now under the coursework still required area, we have two spaces. The first one is the currently elected courses, which will automatically pull in all of the courses that the student has elected for the current or upcoming semesters. So in this case, these are all of the students' courses for fall 2010. To indicate that the student needs to take the course to complete the concentration, or to complete a concentration requirement, we just click the needed box next to them. We'll leave the SAC 499 blank because she doesn't need that for her concentration. Next, we have the free-form box for minimum grade, if it's required. Since we said that the student doesn't or isn't in danger of having less than a 2.0 in the concentration, we aren't going to put any minimum grades in there, but this is where you would put them in. Next, we have the cognate checkboxes. If any of these courses are going to be a cognate, then you should check that, and that will point out to the auditors that even though it's not in the Department of Concentration, that is a course that the student can't use for distribution. Please also make sure that you enter this in the next area as well. Under list specific future courses needed, these are free-form boxes that you can use to fill in certain courses that the student is going to take but isn't enrolled in yet. So let's say that the student plans to enroll in poli-sci 495. And since the student doesn't necessarily have to take that course, we'll also say that she just has to fulfill a certain requirement. And that way the auditors know that if the student doesn't take that course, she still can fulfill the requirement by taking another. The next section we come to is the previously completed courses from other departments section. This is where you'll list all the cognates that the student has taken or other courses that they're using for the concentration but that aren't cognates. So for poli-sci, a lot of students take Stats 350. And that's not a cognate, so we don't have to check that box, but we'll list it in this area as well. So as we're entering these Screen Arts and Cultures courses, we're going to check the cognate boxes because they are cognates to this concentration, and so they can't be used towards the student's distribution. If you run out of space up here, or if you want to enter information about, say, study abroad, you can use this freeform box that says describe a type of previously completed course. It's important to list all of these here in this section because these are courses that aren't automatically going to be excluded from distribution, but need to be excluded from distribution. Also keep in mind that even if you enter a course in here, you should also enter an exception in the online student file so that the auditors can push that course out of distribution in the online audit checklist. Next, we have course used to meet requirements of both concentration and minor. This student doesn't have a minor, so that doesn't apply, but it's important to keep in mind that only one course can be shared between concentration and minor, and a student can't complete a minor if they need to use more than that. Finally, we have additional notes to the auditor's office, and that's if you have any certain directions that you want us to have so that we can handle the student's file correctly. You can put those here. Otherwise, you can leave it blank. And all we do next is click Save, and then we're done.